What is up, guys? Status Skol here is live, and we are post-game reacting to what was a tough Vikings loss. The Vikings go to Cincinnati and they take an L 27-24 to the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of things happened in this game, and it was looking very boring for a while, but we were able to come around and make it interesting. And as you can see by the ESPN win probability, it was like riding a fucking roller coaster. So great game. I'm here with my boy Josh, and Josh, you don't look too happy.
No, pissed off. Tough, man. When you can't get the ball 1 yard in two consecutive plays, it's tough. Yeah, I don't know. Ty Chandler, our boy, had a great game. Um, he pounded the rock. He was averaging almost 7 a carry. Just couldn't get it done today. It's pretty frustrating.
Pretty frustrating indeed, and a tough way to take an L in a game which was not looking like at first it was going to be that way. I mean, we were up 17-3 with a decent amount of time left in the third quarter, but things aren't always what they seem. So, before we get into everything today, I want to tell you about our friends at Underdog Fantasy. They sponsor this show and they help us out with doing our thing. So, Underdog Fantasy in the Pick'em game, just pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite player stats. And you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog Fantasy keeps it super simple with the easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry, get every pick right, and take home some cold hard cash. Use the code 10K and get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog Fantasy. So Underdog Fantasy, they're doing their thing, and yeah, they help us out. We can't appreciate them enough for what they do for us. Just kind of moving into the stats here. So, and I mean, man, if we were looking back at it and was like, how's the passing game going to go? Didn't really do anything, it didn't really feel like we were going to do anything. The numbers weren't going to be crazy, and they were kind of. So Nick Mullins, 26 of 33, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Jake Browning, 29 of 42, 324 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So the fact that they both threw for over 300 yards is actually crazy.
Yeah, Mullins. I don't know. He got lucky on a couple plays. Got damn lucky on a pick six that got called back.
Oh my
He
God.
was okay. I didn't expect much. Just I'm pissed. This team just can't close games. It's the same shit every week, AJ. You're up 2 fucking touchdowns and they cannot close. It's been this. I feel like I saw somebody tweeted on Twitter. They're like, I feel like this. I watch the same game every week because that's what it feels like. It's and our guy Patrick said tough game, good to have JG back. Agreed, but so frustrating. I'm so sick of this.
Yeah, it almost seems like at this point, the play calling when you have a lead or are close to trying to do something is very, very ultra conservative. And I get it. You don't have a lot to work with right now, but you got to try and drum up something. And it just doesn't seem like KOC is willing to take any sort of risk whatsoever, which is a little bit surprising to me because it doesn't really seem like it seems to fit his personality in his MO. But
Yeah,
so, yeah, I mean, it's just weird.
yeah. It's frustrating. They just don't want to put games away, and it sucks.
Yeah, so moving into the rest of the stats here. Um, like you said, Ty Chandler had a great game, but and we all want to talk about the sneak. And hold on a second, I think everything is frozen right now.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No, yeah, everything is frozen. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I can hear you, so I think we're good now.
Okay, yeah, my internet is just absolutely garbage. So, sorry about that, guys. But like we said, Ty Chandler, 23 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Finally, this was the game that we
Yep.
have been begging and pleading for, and it came in a loss. But you know what? Let's just get into it there. So overtime, on our side of the 40 or on our side of the 50, and you run 2 sneaks with 1 yard to gain with Nick Mullins, and you don't get anything. The second sneak being that you had Brandon Powell, your small slot receiver, help push, and it resulted in, an even worse sneak than what came on the 3rd and 1. So, I mean, my God, like
the 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 smallest guy on the on the offense, maybe the smallest guy on the team, is pushing Nick Mullins to try to get a first down. What are we doing?
right.
I don't. How do you not give it to Ty Chandler, who's got 132 yards today? It's frustrating, man.
Our boy Pat chimes in again. Those 2 picks in the red zone cost us the game. I mean, it sure did. Like, if one of those doesn't happen, if Mullins takes a sack instead of tries to throw it into a defensive lineman's lap, like, what are you doing? Like, we get 3, it's a completely different game. The Bengals have to be so much more aggressive. And I don't know. I like looking at the yards. He threw 324, and the talk the past couple of weeks has been, this defense has looked really good. I think we also have to put that in perspective. Like, we were playing some pretty rough offenses. Like, the Raiders offense is not good. The Bears offense is a little bit better, but maybe not still great. Like, the Bengals offense, even with Jake Browning running the whole show, is pretty good. And we kind of saw that today. I guess and they run crazy for us on us anyway. 22 carries, 80 yards for the Bengals team as a whole. So, you give up around 300 or 400 yards total, which is way higher than what we have been doing. But when the offense can't do stuff, the defense will struggle.
Right. Yeah, and then our secondary just did not look great today. Jump ball to T. Higgins, and he makes a catch and made an unreal play. I mean, what are you supposed to do when he reaches around behind his back and scores a touchdown like that? But yeah, our secondary didn't look good. We got 5 sacks. The pass rush was there. Just, I don't know, man. This is just so frustrating. This was one you could not lose, and they did it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it makes them feel better that it was a close game, but even still, the turnovers, and you almost threw a pick 6, which was negated by the offsides, which a lot of people were saying, no, that was just a good jump. They just threw the flag. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's better that you get a bad game out of the way with Nick Mullins right away, and then he can kind of step in and find his footing. And I think that, the defenses coming up will be a lot easier to play against too, but because the Bengals defense is pretty good. But going back to that T. Higgins touchdown, I mean, that's also an unreal throw by Jake Browning. And it looks like, I feel like the secondary almost gave up because they knew he was trying to throw it away. And that's kind of what it looks like at first. So,
yeah, this feels a lot like Case Keenum is our quarterback right now. Throws a very ball, kind of loopy ball, makes some questionable decisions out there. Like the second Addison touchdown, great play all around, but damn, was that risky. That was a risky throw. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Got a big one next week.
I thought that one was picked at first. I didn't really even know what was going on. And I was starting to get really sick to my stomach seeing Nick Mullins roll out and try and make a play. Like, what are you doing, man? I don't know. I think if we just can, next week is a huge game. Wide out against the Lions, Christmas Eve at home. You got to put together something that's worthwhile. But a good showing from our stars today, though. The full complement back on the receiving end. Jordan Addison, 6 catches, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. That first touchdown was actually brilliant by both him and Mullins. Mullins kind of getting out of the pocket, throwing a ball. It looks like at first that maybe might have been, incomplete, but he had it saved with just enough room. So Justin Jefferson in a full game back, 7 catches, 84 yards. So TJ Hawkinson, 6 of 63. I think if you can keep those guys humming, it's there. And Ty Chandler got that wiggle room. But the mistakes, and like you mentioned on Thursday, the turnover battle, like we did not get any turnovers and we gave it away twice.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
In a close game.
Yeah. Yeah, and back to Ty Chandler. I don't think Alexander Madison's getting his job back.
Oh no.
I don't think. I mean, Chandler was great today. The guy was. It seemed like every carry was damn near 8 yards. I mean, he was running the ball great. I don't. You Madison's done. Whether he's back or not, it's got to be Ty Chandler. He's so much more elusive out there and just a better running back. But yeah, good to get JJ back. He made some nice plays today, some nice catches. Um, just sucks to have a good offensive output, a lot of yards, a little more high scoring than we've seen in previous weeks, and just still can't get it done.
Yeah, I mean, 2 turnovers in a 3-score game that you go to overtime in. That's just. I mean, we did get an interception as well. I kind of forgot about that. So I mean, Caleb Evans coming through on a huge pick, and it didn't look like we did anything off of that. But it's just one of those tough games, man. I mean, and like we said, their defense is good, so you got to give them props. Jake Browning balled out against the Vikings, who was his former team, so you got to give them props. But when things are close like that, last year all these games were going our way. Now they're not. So I
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe there's something to be said there, but there's always a regression to the mean. That's always going to happen.
right. Yeah, yeah. Just a tough week, tough loss. Even sports betting, AJ. Jamar Chase was 2 yards short of hitting the
Oh,
over, so that's just a little twist of the dagger in my chest. Um, so yeah, no good.
I was able to cash a slip with Hawkinson receptions. He got 2 receptions in overtime, which ended up clutching up. But I mean, even that number was low. So shout out to him. Shout out to Hawk for doing his thing.
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't know. I I'm pretty pissed about this one. This one, just because it was right there, even with how you, and that's what the theme has been all year. Going back to the Bears game too, was kind of the same thing. You make all these mistakes, but you're so close to winning, but just something isn't there. Like the offense just isn't there as a whole.
yeah,
And I don't, the Bengals have good pass rushers. They do. But this is another game where you kind of look at the offensive line. You're like, I don't know. Like everyone that threw out the elite tag at me, like, where are you? Because we need to have a discussion. That was blasphemy for you to jump that.
yeah, yeah. I'm just so sick of this shit, AJ. They can't put away a game. You can't put it away. And Kevin O'Connell had some. It's part of it's on him. This is just so. I've been saying it all year that we've been chatting on this. Just go out there and kill a team, please. Like we just can't put games away. It always has to be a 3-point game. It always has to be a 7-point game. It is so fucking frustrating that they can't just put this shit away. So, got 3 games left. Um, gotta figure it out. 3 big games left.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if this team is good enough to put somebody away. Like, that's just, that's just how it is right now. Like, there's just always going to be that one glaring weakness that shows up in a game. And today it was the secondary in the offense kind of as a whole. Like, couldn't do anything. You get 2 key turnovers on your side of the field, positive side of the field. And then the secondary was losing jump balls. Like, that's something that we lack sorely is a physical corner. And shout out to everybody that's, started back there. Caleb Evans has had a good year. Mekhi Blackman's done some good things. Byron Murphy. I mean, it was on the Tyler Boyd catch to put them in field goal range. Byron Murphy's just, and then he starts running his ass off and barely misses it as Tyler Boyd makes a crazy catch and then runs down the field and puts them in range. So it
Yep.
just doesn't seem like what we're doing right now is enough. Like, I just think that we're not quite there yet. We need a couple more pieces, but today was kind of a shower of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I I really don't know what else to say. It's just this one pissed me off. I'm just on to Detroit, man. Christmas Eve. Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on indeed. I mean, kicking department, Greg Joseph made his field goal today, longer 39. Ryan Wright had some good punts when he needed it. So just keep building, man. Like this offense, hopefully, will have a game where they put it together and they're good enough and they don't make the dumb mistakes. I just don't know how you don't give it to Ty Chandler there on one of those downs in overtime. Like when he's been running the ball great for you all day, and you decide to run a sneak. So
Yeah. This whole like tush push thing that's taken over the NFL is just it's
not
not
everyone has to do it.
correct. Correct. Like earlier in the game at one point, most of us thought they were going to sneak it, and they ran a little PA boot to Ty Chandler. That works out great. You can't sneak it every damn time. You don't have the Eagles' offensive line and Jalen Hurts who can back squat 500 pounds.
Right.
It's Nick Mullins getting pushed by 170-pound, 5'9" Brandon Powell. It's not going to happen. Give it to Ty Chandler who's going to run downhill and bowl somebody over. God, it's just so frustrating.
Or
so
use your fullback that never gets used ever.
Yeah. I don't know. It's easy for us to say sitting at home watching these guys do it, but it's fucking frustrating, and they better figure this shit out for next week.
I don't know. I think there's something to be said about that, though, because it seems like the gripe of KOC's play calling is always come in situations like this, where it's very short distance and they get cute and do dumb, stupid shit. Like, just hand it off. Just do, like you said, they ran a bootleg early on in the game. Do it again.
Yeah.
On one of those downs. You're going to go for both.
Right. And I think even that second sneak, it didn't look like he even took a step. It looked like he damn near fumbled the ball. Like he was already going down before he could even do anything.
Looks like
he had
coward right away.
That second sneak, he had zero chance. Zero.
No.
So yeah, that just I don't know. It's frustrating. It's a tough loss. I need to go drink a couple cold beers and forget about this one.
Yeah, we've got some more football games on, so hopefully we can just put this one in the rearview mirror and move on to Christmas Eve, because that was pretty gross. So
yeah, not fun at all.
Not fun at all. But hey, we're here for you. The Vikings are still 7-7. The worst that we can do is go downward. I think we'll still hold our position, because even if the Packers win, I'm not sure where they're at actually, but we do have the head-to-head. Yeah, so they're 6-7. If they win tomorrow, we would still have the same record in a head-to-head tiebreaker. So we won't really change spots. But like we talked about, this is a game where you couldn't lose, and now you really have to make sure that all of these count for sure. So
yeah,
looking forward to Christmas Eve.
Yeah, yep, on to the Lions. Let's go get it. A little preview here, AJ. We can tell the people a little bit. We might have a special guest on one of the shows next week, so we'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah, we've got a guest coming in that you've heard before, so narrow that down for yourselves if you may. State of Skol audience, and I think we'll throw that in next week. So looking forward to that indeed. But yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season in the Lions game, which will be sweet with that whiteout. But we'll get into all that when we do our preview episode next Thursday. So make sure that you are with us here on StreamYard, on all of our social platforms. We did get disconnected from Facebook, but we will have that up and running for next week. I promise you that. For AJ and Josh here at State of Skol, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. We'll see you later.
See you guys.